Hi, thanks for joining me today. I'm Melanie from Yoga Within. Um, Thanks for joining for the 45-minute Hatha yoga class. Nice to see you all. Don't forget to follow us or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to start lying down. So find your most comfortable position, knowing that if your back's bothering you, you can bend your knees, you can straighten your legs, you can rest your arms out to the side or hands on the belly. Just wherever you feel the best. Adjust your neck, put some support under the neck if you need. Take a long, deep breath in and a long letting go exhalation. Just feel yourself connect with the ground supporting you. Begin to follow the gentle rhythm of your breath. Trying not to force your breath, just let it come and let it go. Notice the breath move through the front body and into the back body. Try to let the mind follow the rhythm of the breath, letting your thoughts drift by one. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. And slowly let the awareness return. Just allowing gentle movement to come into the body, moving the fingers and the toes. Rotate wrists and ankles, moving both directions. Really moving into the body. Of course, as always, if you have any physical conditions, check in with your doctor first. You're in charge of your practice. Go the other direction. So if I'm asking you to do something that's causing you a lot of pain, you should really question why you're listening to me and not listening to your body. Tighten everything as tight as you can. And a big, long, loud letting go exhalation. Let your knees bend. Let them rock a bit from side to side, exploring the distance between the feet. Trying to keep the glutes on the ground relatively. There's a little bit of lifting. And place your arms in a position where you feel some movement, some shifts, some changes in the upper back, front body, and back body. Try one more on each side and then stop at the center, bringing the thighs into the chest, making a few circles one direction. You can hold your shins, the backs of your thighs, or your knees, and then go the other way. Try to keep that natural curve in your neck. So keep the chin tipped a little bit down. And once you've gone what feels equal in each direction, let the movement stop. And now make yourself as tiny as you can. And for some of you, that might be bringing your nose up to your knees. I see some of you with your shoulders in your ears, so let them softly drop down. Connect with your breath. Squeeze all the air out of the lower abdominals, giving yourself a nice massage into the low belly. And let the head come down. Let the feet come down. If your back hurts, keep your knees bent and your feet on the floor. Otherwise, stretch your legs out. Bring the arms to the floor overhead where they rest evenly. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, bring your right thigh to your chest and your hands to your shin. Breathe in, stretch out. Breathe out, left thigh to chest, hands to shin. See if you can do that 4 or 5 more times on each side. And depending on how you're feeling today, some of you may want to add bringing the nose up to the knee. But again, know why you're doing what you're doing. Understand what each posture is meant to teach you from the inside out. Work both your strength and your flexibility, remembering that ease in the body brings us to much greater strength. Not confusing ease with easy. Pause when you're finished. Bend the knees, place the feet on the floor, and again, bring the thighs up to the chest. Some of you may be ready for a happy baby. Make sure that baby's happy because, if all there is strain as you try to reach your feet, you might have a happier baby grabbing the ankles or the calves or the backs of the thighs. Then let the movement stop. Keep the thighs in at the chest. Open the arms to a T and drop both knees to the right. If you find your back bothers you, enter the twist with your feet on the floor. That right hand can come up to the left knee, your head. Turn it the direction that gives you the deepest release. And the question always asked is, where should I feel the release? And the answer is, well, where do you feel it? Bring the knees back to the center, transition to the other side. If you find that the arm in line with the shoulder is not where you need it, and you need the hand on the low back or on the rib cage, then I suggest that's where you move it. Some of you may even need the arm higher than the shoulder with the elbow bent. And then bring yourself back to the center and repeat that twist, or the twist that feels best in your body, once more on each side. Pay attention to the story of your breath. Come back to the center, transition to the other side. Remember, it's about what it feels like for you from the inside out, not what it looks like. Each time we come to our mat, we're being reintroduced to ourselves. Back to the center. Take a moment, make yourself as tiny as you can. Good, and then do a few spinal rocks, as long as there's not any pain in the back, neck, shoulders, or tailbone. Otherwise, just roll over to one side and sit up. And once you get to a seated position, sit cross-legged, half lotus, full lotus, or stretch your legs out if you need, and just bring some movement through the low back, keeping the weight even from glute to glute, or even rocking from glute to glute. What feels better? Try to get some movement into the shoulders. And next time you cross the center, reverse the direction, go the other way. Keep breathing. And when you've gone about the same in each direction, stop at the center and go into a forward fold that feels the best for you. Some of you might walk your fingertips out. Don't let your head rest on the floor. Build that strength in your neck. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. Notice if your glutes are rooted to the ground. And then curl up. Bring your shoulders right up. And roll them the other way. Stretch your legs out. Bounce them out. And then swing your legs over onto one side. Doesn't matter which side you start with. We'll do both. Line yourself up with the straight edge of your mat and stretch out your bottom arm. Cradle your head in the bottom arm. This top hand is just for balance. Flex both feet and lift that top leg up. And as you lift the leg, imagine that I had an elastic band around your ankles. And as you lower the leg, think about squeezing the air out of a helium balloon. Now, if you lift your leg up and you're rolling back like that, you know that you're not working the body in the way you should to find your most strength. Keep breathing. If you're feeling this in the neck and shoulders, you need to reposition because it's not a neck exercise. Connect top and bottom half right here at the core. Maintain the natural curve of your spine. Good. The next time the leg comes down, pause. Bend both knees just to relax the back. And move into some of these clamshells, lifting the top. Try to keep one hip above the other as opposed to lifting and rolling back. Use your breath. Use your breath. Connect top and bottom half right here at the center at the core. Use your breathing. Keep the sides of the feet together, so big toes and heels. Use your breath. Good. Next time the knee is down, pause. Press yourself up and place your elbow below your shoulder. Stretch both legs out. And again, try not to have the toes forward or the toes back. Try to keep the natural curve of your spine. Think shoulder and elbow. Top hand again is for balance. Lift the top leg. Again, I can lift my leg and roll back, but I'm not working with any strength at all, only flexibility. Use your breathing. Lift with resistance, lower with resistance. Don't sink down into that elbow. Rise up. Shoulders are open, chest is open. No strain in the neck at all. Maybe even turn your head a bit from side to side. Good. Breathing. Try about 40 more. I'm just kidding. Those of you hanging your heads, get that neck up in line with your spine. Next time the leg is down, pause. Flex your feet. Bend the knees. Let the back relax. Then press all the way up. Extend your legs again straight. Now, this bottom arm, extend it straight out from the shoulder so the arm is straight. Now, as the elbow bends, it'll point to the wall behind you. The top leg lifts. Arm straightens, leg lowers. You're not coming forward and kicking the leg back. Elbow bends, leg up. Elbow straightens, leg down. Neck stays in line with the spine. And you're breathing. If you're feeling your belly button move forward towards the floor, you know you're rolling and you know you're losing that core strength. Try a couple more, keeping your breath, taking any strain out of the neck, keeping the weight even on everything connected to the ground. Good. And then bring yourself back down. Let the knees bend. Take care of the back. Then roll over onto your belly. Place the elbows directly below the shoulders and the wrists in line with the elbows. Tuck the 10 toes under and come into a half plank position. Neck is relaxed, so you can even turn the head from side to side. Don't let the head hang. Press strongly back through the heels. Try not to sag in the belly. Keep the natural curve of the back and listen to the story of your breath. Place the knees on the floor, tops of the feet on the floor. Walk the bottom back towards the heels. If you're dizzy at all, support the head on the fists. But if you prefer taking the hands back to the feet, by all means do that. Rock your bottom across your heels. And then curl yourself all the way up onto the knees. Tuck the 10 toes under. Lift the arms up in the air. Make tight fists. Tighten everything. And then exhale. Let the arms go. Try that one more time. Breathe in. Tighten everything. Your glutes. Squeeze your inner thighs. Press down into all 10 toes. And let go. Untuck your toes. Tap into the tops of the feet. And you have another side to do, so come down onto the other side. Again, that bottom arm is either straight or you bend the elbow. If you find yourself rolling back or rolling forward, get yourself nice and straight. Sometimes you can do it right up against the wall. Top fingertips for balance, lifting that top leg. Remember, if it's going all the way up, you are not working into both strength and flexibility. Use your breathing. It really doesn't matter if you lift on an inhale or an exhale. I tend to lift on an inhale and lower on an exhale, so I do keep the core of my body engaged. But I encourage you just to breathe and breathe with awareness. Let your mind follow your breath. And when you do, you start to realize your whole practice becomes like a meditation. There's no time for the thoughts to wander. Once you feel like you've done about the same number as you did on the other side, let the movement stop. and bend both knees. Keep the insides of both feet sealed and lift the knee away, moving into those clamshells. Again, if you are feeling the pain in the neck, you need to question what you're doing because it's not a neck exercise. If you don't feel anything, change the angle that your knees are at. So if my knees are at 90, I don't tend to feel what I need to feel. I drop my knees down a bit and then open. It won't be the same for each one of us. Keep in mind, don't let that knee roll to the ceiling and roll back. Think about one hip above the other hip. Use your breath. When you feel like you've done about the same number, let the movement stop. Bend the knees a bit more, take care of the back, and press up, placing the elbow below the shoulder and the wrist in line with the elbow. Straighten your legs. Don't let your head hang down. Pelvis doesn't roll forward, bottom doesn't roll back. Stay connected. Lift that top leg. So you're not sinking down. You're pressing into the palm, the forearm, the elbow, rising up. If there is pressure on the bottom hip, you can always put a little blanket there. But if you think more about pressing and rising up out of that bottom hip, you may find that you're working into a bit more strength. Flex both feet as though you're standing on them. Use your glutes. Keep your breath, keep your neck relaxed but strong. And when you feel like you've done about the same number, let the movement stop. Let the knees bend. The bottom arm extends straight out from the shoulder and the fingers can point away from the shoulders. Good. Legs are straight. Arm is straight. Elbow bends. Top leg lifts. Breathing. No strain in the neck. Body's not rolling forward or back. Reposition your hands if you need to. They are on the ground, so they are part of the foundation. Keep the toes spread. Pay attention to what your breath is telling you. The tendency can be to hold our breath. When you feel like you've done about the same number as you did on the other side, pause. Come down onto your belly. So the option this time is to come into that half plank, just as you did last time, or tuck the toes and press up into full plank position. Press back through the heels, use your legs, keep your neck strong, the body strong without being locked. Now the option is to put the knees down on the ground and go back into child's pose, or soften the knees and send the hips up and back to downward dog. Use your breathing. Walk that dog out a bit. Keep your breath nice and strong. Pause. Bring the knees down to the ground. Keep the toes tucked. Move your hands at least mat width apart. Bend the elbows and tip the nose to the floor. Press up. Bend the elbows, nose to floor, press up. It doesn't have to touch the floor. Don't let your head hang. And again, and up. Option being keep doing what you're doing, or nose comes down, one leg goes back, come up, knee comes down. Other leg, back, and down. Try to do the same number on each side. Keep your breath. Feel the shoulders, building strength and stability. When you've done an equal number on each side, pause. Let the knees open wide this time. Place the tops of the feet on the floor and send the bottom back towards the heel. Go up on your fingertips to create a release in the wrist. Keep breathing. Staying up on those fingertips and make sure your hands are very wide, way wider than your shoulders. As you begin your next exhalation, walk your fingertips over to the right. Keep your breath. Keep your breath. You can stay here just as you are, or you can take that right hand off the floor, rotate the arm so the palm faces up into the low back, move the torso up off the thighs and enter that twist to the right, keeping the weight even on both glutes. Remember, if this is too much, just stay down. Bring that right arm back to the floor, bring the thigh or the chest back over the thigh. Walk back to the center. Don't let your heads hang. Press your hips back and start your next exhalation as you move over to the left. When your chest is parallel to the thigh, pause. If that's enough, don't go any farther. Otherwise, lift the left arm up, rotate the shoulder so the palm's up, bring it around. Some of you will grab the right hip, and then you press into the fingertips as you lift the torso up and twist left. Watch those heads. I see you hanging them. You bring the arm back down to the floor. Move the torso back to the center, the arms back to the center. Place the flat palms on the floor. You can stay here in child's pose or lift the bottom, bring the knees and feet parallel. Tap the toes, send the hips back and up, and find downward dog. Walking that downward dog out. If you don't enjoy this next transition, you can come to standing and find warrior one. Otherwise, take your right foot, turn it slightly out to the right. Bring your left foot forward between the hands, bending the left knee, coming up to warrior one, hands to hips. Front knee above front heel. You can stay here. You can lift the arms to shoulder height, or some of you can lift the arms up in line with the ears. Keep breathing here. Body comes forward, hands down. Right heel lifts, foot pivots, and you step back to downward dog, or you go onto your hands and knees to tabletop, into child's pose. Walk that out, and we'll repeat the same thing on the other side. So the left foot pivots, right foot comes forward between the hands. Bring yourself up, placing your hands on the hips. Hips point straight ahead, front knee above front heel. Again, arms shoulder height or all the way up. Unclench your toes. If you don't feel your legs working, good chance they're not. Those of you thrusting your chins, try not to. And then lift the back heel, bring yourself back down to downward dog, or you can go into child's pose. What feels best for you? Walk your feet forward between your hands or find your way to a fuller half fold, the way that feels best for you to land. Adjust your feet accordingly. If your back hurts, move your legs wider apart, or if you have tight hamstrings. And then very slowly walk your hands up the legs. Let your head be the very last thing to come up. Roll your shoulders back and roll them forward. Let the arms swing a bit, go back and forth from your toes to your heels. Let the movement stop. And then step out nice and wide on your mat. Start with the outside edges of your feet parallel. Place your hands on the hips. Then turn the toes out and bring the heels in and bend the knees. So think about knees above heels into goddess pose. And just rock from side to side a bit. Good. So lots of balance. Adjust your feet according to your strength, your stability, your balance, how it feels through your body. Good. Pause the movement. Bring the arms forward and turn the palms so they face up. Open the arms out to shoulder height. Breathe. Breathe. This is enough. Stay there. Otherwise, lift the arms. Fingers point to the ceiling. And lower the arms down. Lift the arms. Lower the arms. Palms are still facing the ceiling. You can keep doing that, or you can lift the heels. Lift the arms. Lower the arms. Groin drops. Pelvic floor lifts. Keep going. Lift those heels a bit higher. Keep breathing. It's not coffee time yet. Arms up. Shoulders down, don't trust your chins. Connect with your breath. Come on, lift those heels a little higher. Good. Pause the arms. Lower the heels. Bring the arms forward. Palms are still facing the ceiling. Lift the arms without thrusting the ribs. My arms need to move a little farther apart. Palms face the wall behind me. Arms lower, lower, lower. Palms are facing forward. Torso comes parallel to the floor. Perhaps you can put the palms flat on the floor. Turn the 10 toes so they point forward. If the palms don't go to the floor, well, you can always use blocks. Start to lift the hips, straightening the legs to what is straight for you, and begin to walk the hands back. Fingertips on the floor, breathing, breathing. Bend the knees, palms are facing the floor, arms come forward, head lift, palms are facing the ceiling. Straighten the legs. Arms open. Good. Drop the shoulders. The left foot turns out. The right foot can stay at 90. Bend that left knee. Arms come up, fingers point to the ceiling. Straighten the leg, lower the arms. Switch your feet. Other foot out. Bend the knee, knee above heel. Arms come up, palms are facing. Arms come down. Leg straightens. Turn to the other side, so lots of balance. Use your breathing. Try to keep your hips as even as you can. Bend that knee. Palms are facing the ceiling. Arms come up. If this hurts, put your hands on the hips. Bend towards the bent knee. Breathing, necks relaxed. Bring yourself back up. Keep the knee bent. Bend the opposite way. Press down into that front foot. Bring yourself back up. Open the arms parallel to the floor. Palms face the ceiling. Straighten that leg. Switch your feet. Last time. Bending that knee, knee above heel. Build that strength. Unlock that back knee. Arms up or put the hands on the hips. Bending towards the bent knee. Press down into the foot. A straight line of energy from that back heel all the way up. Torso comes up. Bend the other way. Press down into the front foot. Lift the arch of the back foot. Bring yourself all the way back up. Lower the arms. Palms still face the ceiling. Straighten that leg. All 10 toes point straight ahead. Arms come forward wider than the shoulders. Palms face the floor. Knees bend. Hips go back. Torso parallel to the floor, or come down into this very wide downward dog. Fingers are not on the floor. Bend the knees, place the palms on the thighs. Bring yourself all the way up. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Back and forth from toes to heels. Good, so as we move into balance, you may find that you want to use a wall. Some of you, if you have a strap of some kind, it doesn't have to be an official yoga strap, but a strap of some kind, have it handy. Find the weight even on both feet, and put your hands on your hips. You can have the strap in your hand just in case you need it, and lift your left heel up off the floor. Good, and then lift that foot up. You can stay here. You can interlace the fingers around the shins, bringing the thighs into the chest. So similar to what you did on the back. Some of you may find you need the strap on the shin. Use your breathing. Good, now see if you are using the strap, slide it down to the ankle and see if you can bring that heel towards the bottom. The other hand can be on the hip, or if you like, you can bring the elbow up by the ear. Try to have your knees together. Keep your breath. That upper arm, you can flex the hand if you like. If you don't need the strap, you can just set it down. Soften that right knee a bit and tip forward from the hip creases, moving that left heel away. Now, if you find you're really rolling, try to point your hips forward, as it is more of a forward fold than a twist. Keep breathing. The heel presses away. Bring yourself back. Pause. Lower the hand. Bring the thigh to the chest. Use the straps if you need. And press the foot down. Go back and forth from the toes to the heels. Good, and then switch sides. So the weight will go to the other foot, lift the heel. If that's enough, this is perfect. Stay right there. If you can lift the foot a bit higher, lift it. If you interlaced your fingers, interlace them the opposite way this time. It's a bit of a brain exercise. Draw the thigh into the chest, keep your breathing. Use the straps, use the walls, use what you need. The point of gaze, your drishti, can be important. So focus on something that's not moving. Now, if you can start to bring the heel to the bottom, do that. Watch that you're not in the back bend here. Lift the opposite arm up, elbow by ear, and flex the palm if you can, pausing and breathing. Then the leg you're standing on, soften the knee a bit, tip forward, press that heel away from the body, draw the hips forward, keep your breathing moving into the back bend that feels right for you today. Bring yourself back, pause. Lower the hand, bring the thigh into the chest again, take care of that back bend. Release, put the foot on the floor, bring the arms up, drop the shoulders down, bend to one side. So you choose the side that's best for you. Bring yourself all the way up, body bends the other way, breathing all the way up. Add a back bend that feels good for you. So put the palms on the glutes, on the thighs. Breathe here. Neck is long. Lightly squeezing the shoulder blades to open the front body. Back bends come from the strength of our legs. Bring yourself all the way up, folding all the way or halfway forward if you know that that is what your body needs. You might want to go back and forth from toes to heels a bit. Breathing. From here, you can go onto your hands and knees or step back to downward dog. See what feels best for you. Send those hips way up and back. Bring your knees to the floor. Put the tops of your feet on the floor. Take your right knee and slide it forward between your hands. Tuck those left toes under and walk that left leg back, top of the foot on the floor. Come up onto your fingertips. So this is not your typical pigeon pose, if that's what you're thinking. The heel rests along the back of the thigh, so not here like this. Tuck that heel back and under. Good. Use your breathing. Take the body slightly forward and bring the body up. Tuck the left toes under, place the palms on the floor. Lift the left knee off the floor and square the hips. Your option is to go onto your hands and knees or press yourself up and back to downward dog. Walk it out. Find your way back onto your hands and knees and slide the other knee forward. Walk that other leg back, tuck the toes and press back through the heels. Bring yourself up onto your fingertips. Use your breathing. Again, the heel is along the center of the thigh. We didn't do it on the other side, but you could perhaps lift your hands and just check out your balance here. Fingertips back on the floor, walk the hands forward, flat palms, lean a bit. Option same as last time, tabletop to child's pose or tuck the toes And send your hips up and back to downward dog. Keep your breathing. Walk it out a bit. Come back onto your hands and knees. Go back to the first leg. So if it was the right leg, bring it forward. Option being to do exactly what you did last time. Keep the heel at the back of the thigh. Or this time, slide the heel out just a bit. So again, you're not sending the weight onto that glute and moving the foot out. You're sending it out just slightly. The knee is in line with the navel, the belly button. Good. Coming forward, coming forward. You can walk the hands forward, stack the head on the fist if that's what feels good for you. Keep breathing. Then bring yourself back up. If it is your right knee that's forward, take your left elbow to the outside of the right knee and bring the right fingertips to the floor or into your low back. Try to draw that right hip back. Breathe here. Bring yourself forward. Same choice as last time. You can go tabletop to child's pose or back to downward dog and walk it out. Coming back down, switching legs. So if it's your left leg, bring it forward. Pause with the heel at the center of the thigh or scooch it out a bit. Tuck those back toes, bump the leg back. Think about that left knee being in line with the navel. Bring yourself slightly forward. See if you can take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, bringing the left hand behind the back and twisting gently to the left. Breathing. Bringing yourself back to the center. Tuck those back toes under, move tabletop to child's pose, or move into downward dog and walk it out. Bring yourself into a half fold or a full fold, adjusting your foundation, your feet. Either walk your hands up the legs or extend the arms forward and come all the way up with the ears between the arms, lowering the arms. Arms up or hands to hips, bending to one side, all the way back up. Use the strength of your legs. Go to the other side. All the way back up. Add that back bend so the head does not go back past the arms. The arms go back past the head. Open the front body. Use your legs. Bring yourself all the way up. Fold halfway or all the way forward. Use your breathing. Good. If you are able to come into a squat, lift the heels and come down into a squat. If you are not able to come down into a squat, sit down the way that works best for you. Lift your torso up, extend the arms forward at shoulder height and go from your toes to your heels, to your bottom. Stretch your legs out. Reposition. So lift the hips, slide the glutes back, adjust them, and fold the body forward. Always remember that if a forward fold with the knees bent, walking the bottom back gives you a deeper release through hamstrings and across the low back. That is what you should do. Take a breath in and a breath out, knowing that where your hands are and how you grip has a relationship to your shoulders. Bring yourself all the way up, roll the shoulders back and roll them forward. To come down onto your back, you can simply lie down. Or if you like those spinal rocks, you may want to do a few of those. Remember, smiling is an exercise for your face. Keep breathing. And then find your most comfortable position on your back. So if you do need something under your head, give yourself that support or at least adjust your neck. Let your legs go from side to side, moving into that little bit of a twist. You may even want to pause with the knees on one side, decide where it's best to turn the head, where it's best to have the arms. Back to the center, over to the other side. Take the cues from your body, not from me. Getting to know yourself on the mat transfers out into your daily life. You get to know yourself off the mat. Back to the center. Just let the knees rock a bit. Lift the feet off the floor, bring the thighs into the chest. You can always add nose to knees. Do what feels best for you. Head comes down, happy baby might be what you need. Breathing into the low back. Stretching the legs up, staying here, sliding the hands up the legs, tipping the chin towards the chest, bringing the torso up off the floor. Torso down, arms down. If the back hurts, bend the knees. Otherwise, lower those legs straight down. Take a deep breath in. Tighten everything as tight as you can tighten it. Open your mouth. Exhale loudly and completely. Take a moment. Give yourself time for any last movements you might need that allow you to prepare for Shavasana. Stillness is not easy for all of us. This is the part that I used to leave in, and I'm very grateful to my teacher, Gerda, for telling me the importance of Shavasana, teaching it to me. Give yourself those few moments of stillness every day just to reconnect with you. Come back to that place of breath. Come back to that place of allowing your body to connect to the ground, supporting it. Breathe in and breathe out mindfully. Visualize the white light all around you and that bright white light that shines within your heart. Let your mind rest within that light. Breathing in and breathing out as you let go. I encourage you to stay in Shavasana for a few moments longer. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your practice with me today. Namaste. Enjoy your day. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time.